Hi, we're Todd and Sarah. Go crush it, travel and thrive. We want you to live your best life. Here we are in Wilmington, North Carolina. We've been all over the place.
Yep. So we went and saw this battleship, the USS North Carolina, basically sitting just across the river from downtown Wilmington.
Yeah, it's a really beautiful view. If you're on the Riverwalk, you can see the ship right from the Riverwalk downtown.
It had a lot of parking, and it was super easy to get to. It's a little plaque they had. This is actually in the little gifts. Here's a ramp going up to the boat.
Yeah, so if you've got a walker or need some wheelchair accessibility, you can get on it. You can't go everywhere on the boat. Obviously, you do a lot of climbing when you visit a battleship.
Yeah, this is on a Thursday, and we were there pretty early in the morning. Almost nobody else there.
Yeah, right after they'd open. We like to get to places right after they open. They tend to not be so busy. Here you can see downtown.
Yeah, there it is. We got an airplane sitting on back. Probably got a closer view of that here coming up. This is the back of the boat. That's the back of the boat. The big guns. There's only one turret on the back, big turret on the back. And there's that airplane. I think they actually had like a catapult. They could actually launch that off the boat.
Yeah, you were talking about not all the aircraft were set so planes could land on them?
Yeah, I don't.
How they were?
As far as battleships, yeah, I'm not sure. Then that bell was actually not from this boat, but from an earlier USS North Carolina.
Yeah, if you're interested in history and who want to see something a little different, battleships are always a fun place to visit.
You got lots of headroom up above decks, but below decks, not so much.
That's true.
Ask me how I know. This is you just kind of walking along the side, going from the back of the boat to the front of the boat. And they had signs, lots of signs you could stop and read, you know. You can learn as much as you want.
Signage was really good. You could spend all day here if you wanted to read everything and still
not
not probably remember all of it.
We didn't come close to reading. Just kind of stuff we were interested in.
But even if you don't think you're interested in, you might want to stop and just kind of glance at a sign because you may find it is something that did interest you. I think I found that out.
Yeah. So there's the forward main turret there. You don't realize how big they are until you're standing right there next to them.
Yeah, and we were on a go-at-your-own-pace tour.
Yeah, self-guided.
Yeah, self-guided. You could do a guided tour, which I think was maybe an hour and a half or 2 hours long.
It's definitely neat to see. And I thought the boat was in very good shape. I mean, the decks were all in very good shape. I know we were on the Alabama a few years ago, and they were working on the decks because they were in rough shape. Yeah,
there were chairs that you could sit in.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really know what I was sitting in.
Yeah, it looked like an anti-aircraft.
Oh, yeah, you can do this. Climb inside this.
Yes. I definitely recommend doing this. Don't skip this part. This is interesting. Just boggles the mind to actually be on duty on this boat in there when this gun is operating.
These are the kinds of nooks and crannies that you can crawl, walk into, and climb into when you're on these battleships.
Let's see if I can hit my head on in here. I think I actually did pretty good. I didn't actually hit my head on anything inside the turret.
Your head was doing well at this point of the tour.
Yeah, I wish I'd have thought about it. We had our bike helmets in the car. I wish I'd have...
You might have wanted to wear it.
I wish I'd have remembered and wore it in there. It would have came in handy later.
And you gotta duck down here.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah.
I would imagine this would not be...
There's down there, there'd be people down there loading it there, loading the shells and the powder.
I got back in here. Now I have to get out.
Yep.
This will be interesting.
So,
but duck your head.
Oh. You think it's best to go backwards when you do that? There you go.
I think so. I think they have good handle rails.
Yep.
I found the handle rails. So, yeah, this is probably. Is there anywhere else to hit my head?
Just as you get down, but they have they had grab holds to railings and stuff.
Right.
I'm sure that weren't there when the boat was active, but it made it easier for to get around safely. Now this is the bridge. This was as high as we could go on the boat. I think the guy said, I think he called it deck 4. Maybe you gotta wait.
Try another one.
That's the one you didn't want to hear.
That's the siren.
Yeah, that'd make a good alarm clock.
Yeah. It was loud.
Yeah, it was neat. But it's the limited visibility they had. Like just looking through those little. I think the later battleships maybe had a little better visibility.
Yeah, but the thing with the battleships is if you do have some accessibility issues, you cannot go everywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
Just keep that in mind. Don't find yourself in a place where you can't get out of. So hopefully with this video, we can show some of you, if you can't get into some of these places, we can give you some insight into what it's like.
I think basically you could just go on that main deck.
Yeah, but you can. I mean, I'd still say you can go visit. You'll still see.
And some
incredible
had
things.
pop machines in a couple different places on the boat. We actually made use of that one later.
Oh, the lower decks tour. It's a lower decks tour. You
Oh.
could spend hours down in the
Oh.
lower deck.
Yes.
Lower decks tour. I know we did not see it all.
Deep in the bowels of this thing.
I know we did not see everything.
No. Well, this was kind of neat. It was the chaplain's organ. It would fold up to the size of like a large suitcase.
Yeah, all the museums I've been in across the country, I don't recall ever seeing anything like that.
Here's a kitchen, not the kitchen, a kitchen. There, we stumbled across
Oodles of kitchens.
Yeah, at least 2, maybe 3 kitchens. Then they had like bakeries right here.
We're on the lower deck of the USS North Carolina in Wilmington, North Carolina. Look what we found. I think we're in the kitchen area. Down low, pie is a man's dessert. 96 pounds of shortening, 6 pounds of salt, 200 pounds of flour, and 3.5 buckets of water. And get this, one guy chopped out the pie dough, and they used 12-inch broomsticks to roll out the crust. Anyway, that's your pie history from Wilmington, North Carolina.
Threw it all into that thing. Yeah, and I think I read on there it was supposed to make like 300 pies or 260 pies, something like that.
We go from pie to meat. I mean, they had all these special areas on the ship to prepare different foods.
Yeah, and this is one of the freezers. They had like 3 or 4 of these.
Oh, they had a lot of freezers.
refrigerated
It seemed
rooms.
like those went on and on and on.
Yeah,
It's hard to imagine.
because I think it's a crew of 1,800 is what I read. So they, 3 meals a day for 1,800 people.
They had
the signs.
self-guided
Yeah.
tour, and they had good signs around the ship.
If you ever think you're lost, just look around. You'll find a sign. This is a machine shop for. Here's a shoe repair shop.
Yeah, shoe repair shop. Even today, that's kind of an oddity. It's kind of a lost art. But shoe repair. They had a shoe repair shop right on board the ship.
Yep.
I can't imagine this.
Yes. Just weird places you'd find beds. Like I think I read like the crew in the laundry room actually slept in the laundry room.
Oh, here you can see what they could go buy.
Yeah.
Yeah, black liquid shoe polish, 8 cents. An ever sharp pen, $3. That's a lot.
Yeah. 2 cents for shoelaces.
Notice the tour signs and then directions
Oh yeah,
to.
I got a kick out of this. The restroom. I'm sure there was many more restrooms, but this is the one that was on the tour. This thing, I mean, it doesn't look that bad yet, but you're about to see something that I still wouldn't want to take part in. That is where you did your sit downs. So
Follow the arrows. Your tour continues. And just when you thought you were maybe getting to the end of a tour, there was more.
Yeah. There's always a deck below you that you could go to. Yeah, these are like circuit breakers, I guess, and there can't be that many people still alive that would even know what all this stuff does.
Yeah, and to get to this area of the ship, though, you do need to walk down a lot of stairs, and it's steep. And just like that, we're in the engine room. Yeah. You think this looks like the Alabama?
Sure.
Yeah, and they're definitely, you can still smell the smell of like fuel oil down there.
North Carolina, and of course we're comparing it to the USS.
So if you're sensitive
Alabama.
To that kind of thing, you might not want to go this far
girl
down.
Here, for as far as the ship goes, any engine room is an engine room, but there's a lot of controls, and I'm telling you, you sure had to know what you were doing. I can't make sense out of any of it.
No, and then I think we stumbled upon another engine room later.
Yeah,
so.
it just kept going on and on. We're getting closer to where you hit your head.
Yeah.
Our tour ended a little quicker than planned.
Yeah, there's a long hallway. I don't remember.
And the hallways are
going
not,
back towards.
You can see how wide they are.
See,
they're
look,
not real.
There's bunks.
Wide.
There's
yeah,
bunks there.
Here's bunks.
And here's some more bunks.
Yep.
They just had them spread around. I guess close to where the people would actually be working. There was where their bunks were.
Yeah, I think that's probably what it was. Kind of what it looked like.
Now this is going by. This will be underneath one of the forward guns, or one of the big guns. I guess it could have been at this point. I don't know if we're at the front of the boat or the back of the boat. But this is underneath one of the 16-inch guns, and that spiral staircase and that big metal thing right up above is what I hit my head on later. And they kind of moved these things around they'd use like ropes, and they would just kind of wrap them around those capstans or whatever you call them on the floor.
There we go.
I think they weighed like 2,200 or 2,700 pounds, each one of these shells.
How many flights of stairs we climb on this ship? Yeah, I do wonder how many we did climb.
Yeah, those stairs weren't actually too bad.
No.
And then, after I hit my head, then I came back up that spiral stair and bonked my head, and then...
But there's a new walkway right around the ship outside. I'd highly recommend you go check that out. That's brand new.
Yeah, you can walk all the way around, which is nice.
Really great tour. If you're in Wilmington, North Carolina, it's worth a stop.